Up next, my 5 favorite green fragrances. Spring is right around the corner. I think it's like literally a couple days away, officially, although in Miami it's basically been that way for the last month. But anyways, green fragrances signify spring, rebirth, freshness, the earth growing, rain, all of that. Love this time of year, love green fragrances. Coming up next, my 5 favorites. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose, and today's topic, as I said, are my 5 favorite green fragrances. I always do a caveat, these are my 5 favorite right now, although some of these have remained in my top 5 going on for a couple of years now. So it's interesting to see how my lists, when I do these, change over time. Some stay in, some move out, and like anything in life, okay? So let's get right into this. And this is going to be, actually let me arrange this so you can't see it. All right. So I'm gonna do this going from 5, 4, 3, 2, down to 1. My 5th favorite fragrance, and this is actually new into this list for me, is Greenley. Greenley by Parfums de Marly. You know, this came out maybe, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I think it was originally going to be called Sutton or Sutton Place, but there's an issue with that because of course, Bond number 9 has a similar fragrance. This is a really good, fresh, green fragrance from Parfums de Marly. If you like something that's a little bit more lighter, not as heavy as some of their other fragrances, Parfums de Marly, I think, interestingly, doesn't always, you know, most people think of them as almost they're very rich, kind of decadent fragrances, woodsy, gourmand. They have some great oud fragrances, but they do fresh fragrances really, really well. They have really a big selection of fresh fragrances. And Greenley is one of their newer ones. And it just, again, I mean, look at the bottle first of all, right? The green bottle, it really just oozes springtime. This is a great time of year to be putting it on. Really enjoy it. And typical Parfums de Marly quality, you're gonna get at least I do on my skin, 8+ hours of performance. So it's a great fragrance. All right, coming in number 4, and I like to introduce ones that, again, that maybe I haven't worn before. And this is Soft Lawn. Can you see it there? All right, Soft Lawn from Imaginary Authors. Okay, the Soft Lawn. And this one, again, love this house. It's an American niche house. For those of you who don't know Imaginary Authors, the concept of the fragrances, each fragrance is built around a story, an imaginary story, an imaginary fictional story, which is kind of cool. And so this one, just to read some notes for you here so you can kind of see it here, you have at the top Linden Blossom, which I don't even know what that is. Then you have Laurel and Ivy Leaves, Vetiver. You have Oak Moss. And then the last 2 notes, Fresh Tennis Balls and Clay Court. They always have, as one of their final notes or 2 listed, is something, again, made up that is related to the fragrance. So this has that very kind of fresh, almost velvety feel, like a tennis ball. You know, have you ever smelled fresh tennis balls out of a can, like, you know, that green felt? This has that type of feel to it. I don't know how they did it, but it's so unique and so cool. And I kind of always overlook and forget about this one, but when I was thinking about green fragrances for the spring, this one immediately jumped to my mind. So again, the Soft Lawn from Imaginary Authors, really great, wonderful. And by the way, $95 for 50 mLs. So it's one of the cheaper niche fragrances that you can get. Oh, sorry. Next is a fragrance that's new to me. It's been around for a few years. This is from the French house Goutal, and this is, I don't want to butcher the names, it's a tough one. Mandragore Pourpre. Mandragore. And I actually own this, and I don't want to mispronounce it. Yeah, Mandragore. Mandragore Pourpre. Let me hold it up so you guys can try to get a really good, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds there. This one has got a wonderful opening of, I would say, a lively kind of mint top. It is different from a lot of mint fragrances. It's not typical, meaning that this one is not overly, how would I say, it's not overly aromatic. It's more of a little bit of a dense mint. And it is one of those mints that to me is very invigorating. For example, Vert Désert, another great green fragrance I've talked about. It's always one of my favorites. That Vert Désert, excuse me, is a fragrance that is going to be a little bit more, it's kind of like dual nature to me. That one is both invigorating and calming. This is a mint to me that is more invigorating. And Goutal, if you've never seen the sprayers on these, one of the best. Look at this. Again, excuse me. Absolutely high quality French perfumery, Mandragore, Pourpre. Try it out. That was number 3, by the way. Now we're going to number 2, my top 2 fragrances. For those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you know both these final 2 are always one of the most, or some of the most highly rated in my personal collection. And this is Mastro del Cuore from Peccato Originale. I'll hold it up there. Oh, excuse me again. Got something in my throat. So this is, again, a very green, herbaceous. It's got mate tea. This is the thing that really stands out for me in this fragrance as far as the green nature. You can see the juice. Just take a look at the juice. It's also got a very green kind of hue or tint to it. But the mate tea in this is one of my favorite mate tea fragrances. Mate tea is very popular in Argentina. It's like their national drink. Here in Miami, where we have a lot of Argentinians, you'll see they walk around with it looks like almost like a mug with a metal straw, and they kind of sip on it all day long. It's almost like an all-day coffee they have with them. And so this has got a really beautiful mate tea note that makes it stand out from almost anything that you will smell. This is not your typical green fragrance. This is, again, more of this kind of green tea smell that is just so different that when I wear this, it's really one of the more unique fragrances I own. And I love this house. They're from Italy. It's an Italian house. It's a very small niche house. They do very small batches. Everything is very artisanal, but the quality is excellent. And it has become one of my favorite houses, Peccato Originale. So there you go, my number 2 selection. Again, Mastro del Cuore, which, by the way, in Italian means master of the heart. So, and that leaves me my number 1 choice that's been one of my favorites for a long, long, long time, and that is Mandala. Mandala from Masque Milano. You can take a look there. This is almost out, this fragrance here at Osme. This is, oh gosh, it is one of the best, in my mind, incense fragrances on the market. And not only that, it's a green incense because it's got ginger. So if you like ginger, if you like incense, this is a fragrance that hits both of those, goes in both of those lanes, as well or better than any fragrance that I know, okay? This would be in my top 5 for not only green fragrances, but also for all incense fragrances. So if you like incense, but you want something that's a little bit fresher, and sometimes incense fragrances can be a little bit dated. They smell a little bit older sometimes. And I love them. I love incense fragrances, but this one, it is not old. This is a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful green incense fragrance. It's my favorite one. It's my number 1 green fragrance. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Let me know some of your favorite green fragrances. What are you wearing? What do you love? I love hearing what you guys have to say and suggest. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace, love, and perfumes.